Principal GDC Kralpura, Dr. Abdur Rashid Malik Saab, Head and Coordinator, Department of Bioresources, Dr. Manzoor Ahmed Mir Saab, Head and Coordinator, Center of Interdisciplinary Research and Innovations, University of Kashmir, Dr. Altaf Bhatt Saab, Senior Resident, Department of General and Minimally Invasive Surgery, Government College, Baramulla, Dr. Sajjad Sultan Lon Saab, Head Department of Zoology, Government Degree College, Kupwara, Professor Ghulam Rasool Ganai Saab, our two notable researchers who are with us through virtual mode, Dr. Smriti Badoria, Principal Scientist, Division of Biochemistry, CSIR, Central Drug Research Institute, and Dr. Mehrajuddin Lone, Postdoctoral Fellow, Department of Pediatrics, University of Virginia. Faculty members from various colleges of the Valley, research scholars from different universities, faculty members of this college, and dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Zoology, Government Degree College, Kupwara welcomes this August gathering today to the one-day national conference on breast cancer, the rising killer in Kashmir. Thank you so much for coming here from all parts of the valley. We are highly obliged to one and all. As this is the inaugural session, we would begin with inviting on stage our esteemed dignitaries who have joined us here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage our worthy principal, Professor Mohammad Shafi Lon Saab, on stage. May I request Dr. Fayaz Ahmed Lon, Dr. Abdur Rashid Malik, Dr. Manzoor Ahmed Mir, Dr. Sajjad Sultan Lon, and Professor J.R. Ganai on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for the dignitaries seated here on the dais. As this is the inaugural session, we will begin with by taking blessings from Almighty Allah. रिवायतों की पासदारी करते हुए may I request Professor Abdul Hamid Shah Saab, Head Department of Arabic, for the recitation of Holy Quran. Professor Abdul Hamid Shah Saab.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه إحسانا حملته أمه كرها وحمله وفصاله 30 شهرا حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة قال رب أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأصلح لي في ذريتي إني تبت إليك وإني من المسلمين صدق الله العظيम. इन आयत का तर्जुमा है, हमने इंसान को वसीयत की है माँ बाप के बारे में कि वो उनके साथ अच्छा सलूक करे। ये माँ ही है जो इस अपने बच्चे को बड़ी तकलीफ की हालत में लिए रहती है और इसको जनती भी है बड़े मसाइल में। इसका उठाना, मुद्दत हमल और मुद्दत गज़ात यानी इसका दूध पिलाना, इसकी मुद्दत 30 शहरा 2.5 साल है। इस आयत का मैंने इसलिए इंतखाब किया कि जिस मौजू पर आज हमारी यहाँ बात हो रही है उस मौजू के साथ इस आयत का बहुत बड़ा ताल्लुक इस एतबार से है कि जब से इंसान ने गैर फितरी तरीकों को इख्तियार किया है जिसमें माँ का अपने बच्चे को दूध पिलाना भी है, ये शरीयत के हुक्म के एतबार से सही रास्ता था। अगर इसको तर्क किया गया तो एक जरिया ये भी है।
जज़ाकल्लाह मुफ्ती अब्दुल हमीद शाह साहब. Soren Kierkegaard, the great philosopher, once said, "The function of reciting Quran is not to influence the God, but it is rather to change the mindset of the people who praise." Today is 22nd of October, and this month of October is internationally celebrated as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is a time which is unheavily devoted to educating and early detection of different cancers. Breast cancer is the most common cancer in females worldwide, and it represents 25% of all the cancers in women. And in India, it's documented that every 4 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with a breast cancer. Although it is 100 times more common in females, but men are also at a risk of harboring it at any point of time. Epidemiological studies have revealed that global burden of breast cancer is expected to cross almost 2 million by the year 2022. Breast cancer is emerging as a major concern in female populations of the Kashmir Valley, with its incidence showing an increasing trend. According to the latest figures revealed by the Sher Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences, SORA, a total of 4,737 cancer cases were reported in the year 2021, up from 3,840 cases of cancer in 2020. According to Regional Cancer Center, breast cancer is not limited to married women only, but it's becoming more common among unmarried young women. So no matter who you are and where you are, breast cancer may touch your life. So it's very important, very necessary to understand the signs of breast cancer so that the proper action can be taken well on time. In this context, the Department of Zoology, Government Degree College, Kupwara, we have organized this one-day national conference as early detection is the best prevention. We have invited the different experts and they will deliberate on this issue. To welcome is to show honor. To welcome is to establish integrity. May I call on the dais our worthy principal Professor Muhammad Shafi Lon Saab, who will formally welcome the guests. Professor Muhammad Shafi Lon.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Dr. Fayaz Saab, Principal Government Degree College, Women Kupwara. Dr. Abdul Rashid Malik Saab, Principal Government Degree College, Kupwara. Our keynote today's speaker, Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Mir Saab, the son of the soil. Our resource person, Dr. Sajad and Dr. Altaf Saab. Guest participants, other dignitaries, faculty of my college, and students from my college. I am more than grateful to stand here and welcome you to this one-day national conference on breast cancer. We are honored to have you here, sir. I can also inform you that this conference will enlighten you pertaining to the topic that is breast cancer. As we all know, that breast cancer is a disease of civilization, both in developing and developed countries, and is a life menacing which is affecting womanhood physically, mentally, and socially. It inculcates feeling of fear and trepidation in women and exposing them to emotional trauma. It's estimated that 1 million women are diagnosed with this disease annually, and more than 40,000 die from this yearly. The majority of the deaths due to this disease occur in low and middle income countries. Most of the women are diagnosed in the late stages, mainly due to lack of awareness and access to poor health conditions. The increase in the breast cancer in the developing countries may also be due to population growth, changes in the lifestyle, food habits, changes in environment, migration from rural to urban areas, etc. etc. Our valley experiences, as Dr. Shaukat Saab clearly said, experiences a high death rate of breast cancer than that of rest of the country. The high death rate can be attributed to socio-cultural structure. The cases are increasing day by day, and it's an alarming situation for our womanhood. In order to minimize the death rate due to this disease, women should be given health education regarding the awareness, uh, regarding the risk factors related to the disease and the physical activities to prevent the same. While as early detection of the disease has a good results, and also cost-effective screening measures needs to be enhanced. Before leaving this station, I am having a very beautiful this quote from Khalil Gibran. Much of your pain is self-chosen. It's bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. For his hand, though heavy and hard, is guided by the tender hand of the unseen. And the cup he brings, though it burn your lips, has been fashioned of the clay which the potter has moistened with his own sacred tears. I once again thank all the participants, the guests, and our esteemed speakers. We value your time, sir, here. You grace this occasion, and I'm sure that this will be a great success today that our zoology department has organized this seminar. along with the other college different these groups, these activity groups. Thank you very much. Thank you once again. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Principal Sir. It's time to move on with moment of felicitation to our esteemed dignitaries. An eminent scholar, academician, and able administrator. He is respected Dr. Fayaz Ahmad Lon, Principal, Government Degree College, Women. May I request our worthy principal to present him with a memento as a token of love and respect. May I request our principal to present a memento to Dr. Abdul Rashid Malik, Principal, Government Degree College, Kupwara, as a token of love and respect. A conference is celebration of knowledge. A devoted scientist, she has mesmerized scholars of very caliber with her intellect. She is Dr. Samriti Badoria from CSIR Central Drug Research Institute. Although ma'am is with us through virtual mode, I request our worthy principal to receive a memento on her behalf from Dr. Fayaz Ahmad Lon. It's okay. It's okay, sir. Serving the society is the foremost principle to his agenda. Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for bearing with us. Serving the society is the foremost principle to his agenda. His art and services have made a difference. His respected Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Mir, Head Department of Bioresources, University of Kashmir, who has graciously consented to be the keynote speaker for today's event. May I request Professor G.R. Ganai to present him with a memento. No issues. The person behind establishing the Center for Interdisciplinary Resource and Innovation is University of Kashmir. He is respected Dr. Altaf Bhatt. Let me do the honors of presenting him a memento as a token of love and respect. One of the notable urologists, the son of soil, he is Dr. Sajad Sultan. May I request Dr. Mehraj Bashir to present him a memento as a token of love and respect. Dr. Mehrajuddin Lone has also joined us through virtual mode. May I request Professor G.R. Ganai to receive a memento as token of love and respect from our worthy principal on his behalf. And able administrator, student centric. He is none other than our worthy principal, Professor Mohammed Shafi Lone. May I request Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Mir to present him with a memento. The most gentle and the most lovable. He is Professor Ghulam Rasool Ganai, the head department of zoology. May I request Dr. Zuhur Ahmad Peer to present him with a memento. Dr. Zuhur Ahmad Peer from the Department of Physics. The passionate, committed, student focused, who is the advisor for this conference. He is Dr. Mehraj Bashir. May I request Dr. Faz Ahmad Lone to present him with a memento. Now I would like to call on the stage Dr. Mehraj Bashir for a brief introduction about the conference. Dr. Mehraj Bashir.
नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बाद क़ाल अल्लाहु तआला फ़िल कुरानिल मजीद वल फ़ुरक़ानिल हमीद अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम वलक़द ख़लक़नल इंसाना मिन सुलालतिन मिन तीन सुम्मा जअलनाहु नुत्फ़तम मिन क़रारिम मकीन सुम्मा ख़लक़नन नुत्फ़ता अलक़तन फ़ख़लक़नल अलक़ता मुज़ग़तन फ़ख़लक़नल मुज़ग़ता इज़ामन फ़कसवनल इज़ाम लहमा सुम्मा अंशअनाहु ख़ल्क़न आख़र फ़तबारकल्लाहु अहसनुल ख़ालिक़ीन सुम्मा इन्नकुम बअद ज़ालिका लमय्यितून सुम्मा इन्नकुम यौमल क़ियामति तुबअसून सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुन नबियुल करीम व नहनु अला ज़ालिका मिनश शाहिदीन व शाकिरीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन. Our esteemed guests, Dr. Fayaz Ahmad Lone Saab, Principal, Women's College, Kupwara; Professor Abdur Rashid Malik Saab, Principal, Government Degree College, Kralpura; Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Mir Saab, Head Department of Bioresource, University of Kashmir; Dr. Altaf Ahmad Bhatt Saab, Coordinator, Siri, University of Kashmir; Dr. Sajjad Sultan Saab, from medical fraternity, Professor Mohammad Shafi Lon Saab, host principal, and our online guest speakers, Dr. Samriti Baduri, Principal Scientist, Division of Biochemistry, CSRI, Center for CDRI, Lucknow, and Mr. Merajuddin, Postdoctoral Fellow, Department of Pediatrics, University of Virginia, USA. Our worthy participants from different colleges across the valley, faculty and students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of this occasion, I, on behalf of the college administration and the Department of Zoology, I take this opportunity to welcome all our worthy guests and participants to this national level conference on breast cancer. As we all know, that among most dreadful diseases that we come across on daily basis, what we know, cancer is regarded as the chief killer. After cardiovascular diseases, cancer is the second leading cause of death globally. Cancer is in fact not a single disease. It's in fact a group of diseases, and so far over 200 different cancers have been recognized, and all have the same basic reason and basic cause, that is the neoplastic growth. The cells get uncontrolled, they go beyond their usual limits, migrate to the other parts of the body, what we call as the metastasis. And this metastasis is in fact the primary cause of death due to cancer. As these neoplastic cells, they compete with other cells for their energy, for their nutrients, and other requirements. As per the reports of World Health Organization, almost 10 million deaths, one out of every 6 deaths that occur globally, they occur due to cancers. And the International Agency on Research on Cancer estimated a death toll of almost 8 lakh people from cancer in India only in just 1 year, amounting to 8% of global cancer deaths and 6% of deaths from all causes in India. And as per the official data shared by the Union Health Ministry, a total of over 20,000 persons have died due to cancer in J&K UT only from 2018 to 2020. It's the 2020 data. And Jammu and Kashmir has witnessed a constant increase in cancer cases, as well as the government of India report, the data which they have shared, they have revealed that last 3 years, from 2019 to 2021, this UT has reported almost 40,000 cancer cases. And in J&K, the common types of cancers which have been witnessed over the years is the gastrointestinal cancer, lung cancer, and prostate cancer as per the males are concerned. And as per the females are concerned, the breast cancer is becoming the rising killer. Although neck to neck with the gastrointestinal cancers, the females in J&K also suffer from the gastrointestinal cancers, which amounts to almost 16.8%. But as per the breast cancer is concerned, it is neck to neck with that. It is 16.1% in UT females. And we hear on daily basis, I myself hear off and on the cases of breast cancer in our surroundings, in our town. I have myself witnessed a few breast cancer cases in last 2 months only, 2-3 cases in town Kufara. As per the data of World Health Organization, there are almost 2.5 million women which are diagnosed with breast cancer, and almost 7 lakh deaths globally in 2020. In last 5 years, almost 8 million women were diagnosed with breast cancer, making it the world's most prevalent cancer. Increasing age, and being women is the risk factor. Being women is the risk factor. Although it occurs in males also, but the incidence it is far more in women. Family history, that is the genetic history, radiation exposure, obesity, and periods in young age, that's below the age of 12, is the puberty age, adolescence age, and menopause in old age, above 50, 55 years, and bearing children in late age. These are some of the risk factors. But I will tell you here that the women which are with the risk factor have been found, it is the observation, research observation, that the women which are with the risk factor, they do not develop this breast cancer. And the women which are with no risk factors, they develop cancer. And the reason is not known. And 5 to 10% of the breast cancers, they are related, they are linked to the genetic and the family background. And the gene BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes, which are significantly responsible for the breast cancer in women. And it has been observed that women, the most thing is in controlling this disease. So, as I told you, that the women with risk factors, they do not develop in most of the cases, and the women with no risk factor, they develop this cancer. So, the best thing is the early detection and better understanding of this disease. And this early detection, it is in fact key. It is key to the survival. And the aim of organizing this type of conference is to acquire people, particularly our student community. The student community in colleges and schools, they are actually the ambassadors. They are ambassadors from this college. When they go back home, when they go back to their native places, when they go back to their native villages, they will acquire people. They will disseminate this information to their native people, that the early detection, the better understanding of the disease, the awareness, it is the only factor that we can prevent from this disease. And it has been estimated that by awareing people and early and timely diagnosis, it can reduce the factor by 30 to 50%. And we all know that cancer exerts tremendous physical, emotional, and financial pressures on the individual, on the families, on the dynasties. It shatters the families. It renders the children orphans. So, keeping all this in view, we are here to acquaint our students, our worthy guests, about the facts of the cancer, for which we have with us the wonderful speakers. We have with us Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Mir, a wonderful speaker, a wonderful researcher, uh, who you might not be knowing that he has served this institution. He has served this institution. He's my colleague and served this institution before joining the Bioresource Department. And we have with us Dr. Altaf Saab, we have with us Dr. Sajjad Saab from the medical fraternity. These are people of repute. And we are also with us online speakers, Dr. Merajuddin from Virginia University. And we have with us Dr. Simriti Badri from CDRI, Lucknow. I hope that you will all enjoy this conference, and you will enjoy this scholarly gathering, and I'm sure that this conference will prove fruitful and will fulfill the motto of helping in disseminating the awareness, which will pave way. I'm sure that it will pave way in reducing the risk of this breast cancer. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Mehraj Bashir, for the introduction about the conference. Now, I would like to call on the stage Dr. Faiz Ahmed Lonsah for his special remarks about the conference. Dr. Faiz Ahmed Lonsah, Principal GDC Women's Kupwara.
respected and revered guests on the dais, of the dais, and dear students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I'm not here for a speech because, as the conference is concerned, I can't teach Gulistan and Bostan to Sheikh Sadi. You see, it is not within my ambit to have a discussion on breast cancers because the experts are here, resource persons are here. So, it is quite unfeasible to start a discussion on this deadly disease. You might have witnessed in different Indian films, there is some actor whom we call as guest of special appearance. Please treat me like that. I'm here just to encourage the faculty members who deserve the applause for arranging such a wonderful conference, and that too in the month which is designated as the month for breast cancers. Better late than never. When I was principal of this institution, I actually tried to conduct such conferences by counseling my colleagues from sciences, from humanities, etc. But due to one or the other reason, that time we couldn't conduct any such conference of this magnitude. You see, we have a resource person from Virginia University, so the nomenclature of the conference should have been the international conference. You have missed one point, and that a bigger point. Now, since I am on the stage, let me tell a few words on cancers. You see, this is especially for the students. Normally cancers, they are not infectious diseases. It is actually an age-related genetic disorder that any person can become victim of this disease at any point of time. The underlying reason is many reasons are there. Genetic instability. In earlier research papers, we used to learn that with the accumulation of mutations, gene mutations, translocations, formation of bridges, formation of micronuclei, many reasons could be for genetic aberrations that actually lead to cancers, especially the breast cancer. Afterwards, the genes like BRCA1, BRCA2, and many other genes, they were identified. And there is a glaring evidence that even the third gene, which is very much associated with the telomere formation, that is responsible for this deadly disease. I will not go into the details, but I will try to connect this disease to some a very important aspect. You see, actually, the disease, it gets unnoticed by women folk. If there is a small, they find even a very, very minute growth within their breasts, they just ignore it. But I have read an article, you see, how uh, our religion, our deen, how it guides us. In the modern times, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, most of them are avoiding breastfeeding to their children. I have read somewhere that the prolonged breastfeeding can avert or can reduce the incidence of breast cancer. So actually the modernity has added to the incidence of this disease. I would urge all the concerned to restart breastfeeding to their kids discontinued. There are certain other like lives other there are many lifestyles which are actually responsible for this. Some are natural, some are man-made. If we just remain cautious about its diagnosis early, because a cancer which nobody else could detect except yourself. You are the first doctors to your body. If you regularly examine your body, then there is solution to every problem. But if we avoid self-examination of our body, then this disease, which is, as we have already heard, about 25% of the cancers, they are breast cancers, followed by many other cancers like thyroid, stomach cancers, etc. But today I will take this opportunity to request other faculty members to follow the suit. They will also, you have a rich faculty in this college. They will also try to conduct such conferences. Not conferences, there are many, you can have conferences on humanities, on literature, on Sufism, etc. You can conduct many conferences. But this is a well start. Earlier we had a conference, I was there. You had a conference on library. So now you have gained momentum. I hope the momentum will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fayaz Ahmad Lon, for special remarks about the conference. Now, I request Dr. Abdul Rashid Malik Saab, who is the Principal Government Degree College, Kualpura, for his special remarks. Dr. Abdul Rashid Malik Saab.
قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن التقويم آمنت بالله صدق الله المولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين أما بعد. Respected Professor Muhammad Shafi Loan Saab, Principal, Government Degree College, Kupwara, dignitaries on the dais, heads of the departments of this institution, researchers, and scholars from across the degree colleges of Kashmir Valley and UT, organizers of the conference, dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And also a very good afternoon, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of this event, as the speakers have spoken a lot here, but I feel privileged here by two ways. That on one hand, this institution remembered me because I have also served this institution in 2011. So that way I feel it back to my home. And secondly, the event which has been organized today is on the breast cancer, the rising killer in Kashmir. Being a researcher myself, I have worked on human memory carcinoma cells for their antiproliferative activities. So that way, I would have liked to be the part of the delegate than to be the special guest of this event. So anyway, I had joined this event. Dear audience, I recited an ayah from the Holy Quran before you, that our structure, which has been formulated uniquely, to which the witness is Almighty Allah, and then why we face such things. I blame myself, not the disease, because we all deviated from Quran and Sunnah. Rather, I should say in general that we deviated from the laws of nature. So therefore, we have to face these things. But being human beings, we take out all challenges, and this event is also a witness to it. That for that, I congratulate the organizers of this event, especially the Department of Zoology in particular, and in general, Government Degree College Kapara, for organizing an international conference. Though you have named it the national conference, but the participants, they are from abroad also. So that way, you all deserve appreciation and congratulations. And why we are here, what is the role of the conference is that we always invite and we bring together the like-minded people, like-minded researchers who deliberate on a particular topic. They share ideas, they share the network, and also they find the solution of these problems. Rather, we should say the research problems. But here one thing is important to me, seeing that in the audience, our youngsters, our young generation, that is the students. So that way there is the motivational factor in it. So this is the main role of the conference, as these days you are the undergraduate students, but you are tomorrow's researchers. You are the tomorrow's solution givers. So therefore, you have to learn a lot from this conference, especially the women folk, to whom I will tell that we human beings, we should not shy away from any disabilities if we face. I would cite here just my experience I will share with you. I met with two patients who both have suffered from breast cancer. Both were from my neighborhood. One lady approached me just after the cancer had gone to its third stage. As you know, the metastatic nature of the cancer, that is very dangerous, and that has crossed its all the preventive stages. And another lady, she approached me as soon as she detected. Both were lay women, both were illiterate. Both of them, they approached me, and I accompanied both of them to doctors. One of the ladies who approached me who diagnosed herself it in the initial stage when she was treated. After treatment, she survived for long 30 years. And the lady who approached me, unfortunately, she died just after 6 months. So that way, this is an alarming situation. Here, the title which I have chosen on this International Day, the Day of Cancers, so thereby it reminds us that we have to be so much precautious because जो अल्लाह ने हमें दी नियामत दी हुई है ये सिर्फ वो नियामत है जो एक ही दफा मिलती है जिसको हम सेहत कहते हैं. So that way we have to take care of it. And from this conference, I hope that the researchers, the scholars, they will deliberate on the preventive measures, they will deliberate on the diagnostics, and they will deliberate basically on the diagnostic at the initial stage and later on the counseling part. And as I told you that we have deviated from our normal life, neither we do work for ourselves, neither we do any exercises, nor we take the things which we are required for our growth and development. As on date, we all are after the fast foods. Here, so many scholars are there, lead speakers are there. Dr. Manzoor Saab is here, who is speaking. I am seeing on the social media, who has spoken a lot on it in different universities. He will third year discuss this issue. But here I will tell you that we have to make a blending of the traditional knowledge, of the scientific knowledge, and the technology. We have to blend all these things so that we will overcome this menace and we will overcome this dreadful disease. I congratulate once again all the scholars, all the experts, all the resource persons, and the participants and students of this institution who have taken this initiative. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Rashid Malik Saab. Now we are ready to kickstart our technical session. I request Dr. Ali Muhammad Peer to do the honors of introducing our first speaker, Dr. Mehrajuddin, who is with us through virtual mode. Dr. Ali Muhammad Peer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shaukat Malik Saab, for giving me an opportunity to introduce our first guest speaker for today's seminar. And we all can see that Dr. Mehrajuddin Lon Saab has already joined us. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, we sharpened and made effective use of our digital and IT skills. And the result of that, staying thousands of kilometers away in the deep night at Virginia, Dr. Mehrajuddin Lon is present with us, though virtually. Dr. Mehraj, we are very much thankful to you for staying away for so long to participate in this seminar. Because right now, it's, I think, 3 in the night at Virginia. So thank you very much. Dr. Mehraj wrote his PhD on redox regulation of mTORC2, a study to unravel the role of superiodox annoyance between 2011 and 2016. He moved to Huntsman Cancer Institute, Salt Lake City, United States, for his postdoctoral fellowship from 2018 to 2019. His key areas of expertise are mTOR signaling, epigenetics, and chromation biology and protein biochemistry. Dr. Lon is currently a senior research associate at the Department of Pediatrics, University of Virginia. Dr. Mehrajuddin will now deliver his talk on breast cancer, the rising killer in Kashmir. So, over to you, Dr. Mehraj, for your talk.
I thank Professor Mahmoud, principal from college. Critical time, we're seeing a lot of rising in Kashmir. So I believe this is the right time. And I also am, it's a proud occasion and a time to like listen to my graduate mentor and my PhD mentor, Dr. Badoria, and my colleagues here. So yeah, so let me start with my presentation. It's estimated that about uh, around like 8.1 billion is spent each year on breast cancer treatment in the US. And if we look at it in the Kashmir perspective, like it is the second most common cancer among women infected after esophageal cancer and has a high mortality rate it looks within valley. So it should be a great cause of concern to all of us when it comes to breast cancer in Kashmir Valley. And looking at the epidemiology, uh, say like over 75% of women who are diagnosed with breast cancer are age 50 or older. So it is point for us like to know that most of the time in women which are 50 years or older have a greater chance of like getting breast cancer. And a 5-year relative survival rate is now 9% for women with breast cancer or before experience beyond breast. So that's a good news here. Like compared to 84.6% in 1990, we have come to like 90%. So recovery rate is high, but this is usually where you have more awareness and also the treatments are better and diagnosis is better. there is a it's a thought for us that we can achieve higher recovery could become disease if we take care of all these things. Breast cancer incidence is greater in women of higher socioeconomic background. The relationship of breast cancer risk with socioeconomic factors is looking like related to lifestyle difference, like number of pregnancies, and at first childbirth. So all these factors do matter. If we want to spread awareness, we have to take all these factors in consideration when we inform people about how breast cancer develops and how much steps we can take to be. And that is not 1990, the decade of the because of treatment harms, early detection, screening, and increased awareness. So, like these statistics are mostly on developed patients. But what I want is that we that with breast cancer, gene mutation, the third out of the most common of the breast, and it is like at this stage, medicines that we use in has been tamoxifen. Then there are prophylactic surgeries, which people have done. This is their last resort. What you could do about uh, by that, it will definitely help people to know. Thank you so much. And I will look forward to the shelter.
Thank you.
I to continue.
Thank you, Dr. Mehraj. You, despite it's very late night in the Virginia, and as I know you are having sleeping issues, still you managed to be with us. We are highly thankful to you, Dr. Mehraj. Thank you so much. Uh, Next, I request Dr. Shazia Lon from the Department of Environmental Sciences to introduce our new speaker, Dr. Samriti Badoria from CSR CDRI. She is with us through virtual mode. Dr. Shazia Lon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shankar. Uh, I deem it honor to introduce our honorable guest speaker, Dr. Samriti Madhuria. Uh, Ma'am, we are highly thankful for she joined. Ma'am, we are highly thankful that you gave us your valuable time for joining this one-day national conference. Ma'am has a very impressive CV. Uh, there are number of pages, and she has very huge credentials. But I'll try my, I tried my level best to be specific to the theme of this one-day international conference. Rather, so I have tried to take away a few of the glimpses, which is quite relevant to the theme of this today's event. Uh, Pam has a background from the biochemistry. She has done her master's in biochemistry from Jivaji Gavaliar University in 2002, doctorate program from the SAM University in 2007. Currently, she is holding the position of principal scientist, CDRI, Lucknow. Her research interests are cancer biology and its treatments. She has won many awards in the field of cancer biology, like a Ramar Research Fellow Award in 2020. She is the recipient of Indian Science Congress Young Scientist Award in 2010-11. She has several publications to her credit in many reputed journals. Some of them are published in like Oncogy, that's a great impact factor of 7.93, Onco Target with impact factor of 5, Onco Immunology with impact factor of 7. In this journal, she has published a research paper which is quite relevant to the present day's event. It's related, like it's the title of the paper goes like this: macrophages promote matrix produce an invasive function of breast cancer cells via MIP1 beta dependent upregulation of MYO3A gene in breast cancer cells. One more award, which is though that's not mentioned in her CV, but I would feel incomplete in fulfilling my assignment if I would not mention here. That is the award uh, is which goes to her is that the organizing secretary of this one-day national conference is her student, Dr. Malik Shawkat. So this is really the credit goes to her supervisor, Dr. Samiti, who has given him such a guidance, and his Dr. Shawkat's research area was on the same topic. It was related to cancer biology, and it is her guidance that has given Dr. Shaukat a kind of direction and a flam to organize this sort of an event. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us, and the platform is yours. And I would request to you, ma'am, that since the commencement of this conference, there are the female students. Uh, the atmosphere got so scary that before you we had a presentation where it was the research presentation. It was clearly revealed, rather mentioned, that the females are at high risk, and through your presentation, through your speech, we are sure that would throw a light over the early detections and some treatment so that the whole podium will get the sigh of relief. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Yes, please.
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Am I audible? Shopper who are on mute, I can make out whether I'm audible or not. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you. You can start your presentation, ma'am.
ये इसका वो हो जाता है इको
थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हाँ सुना मेरी बात सुन रही है मैंने कुछ प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा साइड आउट करके दोबारा प्रॉब्लम है हाँ इट विल टेक 2 मिनट्स
हम साइन आउट करके
क्यों
कह रहे कुछ हो रहा है इसमें।
नहीं ये ठीक है इनका ठीक है यहाँ अगर हम अनम्यूट करते हैं तो कुछ हो जाता है
ये फिर से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं।
कोई बात नहीं
Please bear with us. It will take just a minute or so.
स्टार्ट करो वो सुन रहे हैं क्योंकि हम यहाँ से अनम्यूट नहीं कर सकते हैं क्योंकि इको होता है
हो गया please. You can also see. हो रहा नहीं है। हो गया हो रहा है क्या
और जगह एक ज्वाइन करेगी ना ज्वाइन करो बात करो हम सुन रहे हैं अभी आप माइक बंद रखो मैम यू कैन स्पीक
Ma'am, you can start your presentation. Ma'am, please speak out.
Streaming the video and is not working properly because of connectivity issue. I hope my slide is visible over there.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Once again, thanks.
Because of some technical issues, Dr. Smriti Badoria is not able to continue. We may proceed with our next guest. It's Dr. Manzoor Mir. Dr. Dr. Manzoor Ahmed Mir holds a master's degree in life sciences, and he has qualified the CSR NET exam, that's a prestigious exam, many times. And he has completed his PhD program from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, through CSR MTech in the field of immunopathology. Dr. Manzoor has published more than 50 high impact research papers with a cumulative impact of more than 200. He has published 20 books and 56 book chapters with international publishers like Elsevier USA, Springer, Nova Biomedical Science Publisher USA, etc. Dr. Manzoor has successfully guided 3 PhD students and has presently 7 PhD scholars under his supervision. Dr. Manzoor has currently 2 ongoing projects, one from SERB DST Government of India and one from JKST and ISDST Government of Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Manzoor has developed a massive open online course that's MOOCs in immunology and endocrinology for UG students sanctioned to him by UG CSE SWAM Ministry of Education Government of India. Presently, he is developing 2 more MOOCs courses on human genetics and human population genetics sanctioned to him by Academic Advisory Board of CEC UGC in March 2020. He is the member of many scientific organizations and societies like American Association of Cancer Research, American Oncology Association, Fellow of Royal British Society, International Immunology Association, Indian Cancer Society, Indian Immunology Society, etc. He is on the editorial board and reviewer of many prestigious journals. Dr. Manzoor was awarded Teachers Association Research Excellence Award by DST Government of India during the year 2019 and Summer Research Fellowship by Indian Academy of Sciences and National Science Academy in 2020. Dr. Manzoor has visited more than 20 countries for his scientific presentations like USA, China, UK, Spain, UAE, etc. I want to add here that he was the first nodal officer of Kashmir University camps and presently he is heading the Department of Bioresources, University of Kashmir. With this, I invite Dr. Mansoor on stage for his talk. So put your hands together and help me in welcoming him on stage. Dr. Mansoor Ahmed.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So at the onset, I would like to thank the organizers of the committee and all the dignitaries who are present over here, because being a scientific event, we should not be spending more time in just welcoming the people. So I beg pardon for that if I'm not naming anybody especially. So with this, I would straightforward start my this awareness program, because what we have been striving for since morning, we have been hearing that there is an menace, or there is a dreadful disease which we all need to be conscious of. And this disease we need to talk more, because there is social stigma, there is scare, and there is mental trauma associated with that disease. With this, I would straightforward go to the slide. When we hear the word cancer, sometimes the statistics have been told since morning here. When we hear the word cancer, or any person is detected with this cancer, or some family is struck with this, there is mental trauma, there is agony, there is pain, there is stress, there are emotional scenes seen everywhere. And people are scared about that there is cancer. But with the advancement in the science, with the now new therapeutic regimens available with us, so this is not something we need to scare about. We need to educate people. We need to provide awareness to the people that there is an early stage. If this cancer is detected, then the people we will be able to save the precious lives. So for that, when somebody is suffering or diagnosed with this cancer, first thoughts which came across her or his mind is that, will I be able to move ahead in my life? Will I be able to resume my professional life? What will happen to my children? So every in her mind or in his mind is the chaos, is the frustration that we as a society we need to support them. It may be moral support, it may be financial support, or it may be any kind of just a word across put into. So with this, we all are believers. Unlike non-believers, we believe, we have a faith in Almighty Allah. Fine. Our fear should not come in vain. We should still have the faith, and this fear should be defeated with the faith. That's what the message are conveying to you, that we need to have faith, and our faith should win over the fear and scare and trauma and pain and all this agony. Somebody, if it is now diagnosed with, because first thing is that if we are able to prevent it, because of the education, because of the awareness among the masses. Now if not, somebody is now diagnosed. So what is the solution? What we I want to show you a slide which should scare us of all. But I am not here to scare anybody. I am here to just provide the education and provide the awareness so that we save the precious lives. If we talk about the statistics across the globe, last year only the Global stats were available with us, and which showed that 10 million people died because of cancer just in 2020. And among them, 2.2 million, that is a major chunk, 1 in 6 of deaths were from the breast cancer. So this should scare us. Then there is another thing that the people died because of this, but we could have prevented 30 to 50% of those deaths if we would have taken the right step of awareness, education, and detection in the early age. That is the problem, that why we are spreading the awareness. Why? Because 30 to 50% of these deaths can be prevented if right type of education, awareness, and early detection is there. So with this, these statistics have been told by many people since morning, that every 3 minutes we are diagnosing one woman, and then every 13 minutes a woman dies because of the breast cancer. That means if we are talking here for 1 hour, there will be 3 females who will be passing away from this planet. So this is a huge statistics. If we talk about the cancer, when we talk about incidences in this subcontinent, Asia, we know that we are contributing 50% of the cancer burden to the world. 48% of the cancers are detected in Asia only. When we talk about the mortality statistics, it's almost 58%. That is so huge. More number of people are dying than 50% ratio is huge. If we talk about the cancers, the other panel of this is the incidence of cancer in both the sexes, then it is in males and it is in the females. If you look at the females, it is 25% of the cancer is detected in males. In females, there are breast cancer. So it's almost 1/4 of all the cancers detected in females is 25% is the breast cancer. If we talk about the mortality rates, that means how many people are dying because of the breast cancer among females, it's again 16%. Again, a scary figure. When we talk about this part, it's again 20, almost 24.5%. And the statistics, when we go through them, despite awareness, despite education, despite medical treatments available now, still this cancer incidence is on the rise. You can see from 2011 statistics to 2026. And believe these are government statistics, because recently we hear about the discussion or the debate going between WHO and our Indian government, where Indian government said that we have only 4.3 lakh people who died because of COVID, but the WHO said that it is 4.5 million. So it was 10 times disparity. If we simply apply that disparity here, it means that we'll be having, or instead of 2.3 lakh, we'll be having 23 lakh people. And another scary situation in India is that 50 to 60% of those detected breast cancer cases die within 1 year. So that is again, as compared to the West, where the prolonged survivals are there because of many reasons. Another slide I would like to show you. Earlier, it was said that there is age is one of the factors, because sex, females are struck more with this. Although males can have breast cancer, but the incidence is 1:1,000. But in females, it is 1:8 in US and 1:29 or 28 in India. When we talk about this, these are two bars. I don't want to give any scientific data over here. This is one of the graphs I had used, and one more. But just two graphs to show you that it's not only the old women. Because in old women, why it was more prevalent? Because there is menopause, we all know about that. Then there are hormonal change. Then there is immune system, which is working now to a very low level. And during that period of life, you are having many more infections or secondary comorbidities, which were adding to that, and you were having breast cancer detected in the old age. But now these statistics, if you talk presently, these blue bars are the statistics 25 years before of the breast cancer, and those presently, they are the red bars. You can see that now, at present, these red bars in the age group of 20 to 30 and to 40, they are overtaking the blue bars. That means now the detected breast cancers are more in younger population than the old age people. So there are n number of reasons which we will be discussing in the later part of the slides. So this should scare us, because it's why that we chose these degree colleges across the valley. First case, then this will go on. that we chose this is a vulnerable population of 20, 30 years, that if awareness, education, and early detection among them is there, it will be a good thing. We will not stop only with this. I am requesting wherever I go that once we from university we come to your college, it is now your college's duty to also invite the nearby higher countries of that vulnerable population to hold some seminars, workshops, so that mass awareness will spread to the community. Again, this is one of the slides which I am showing. This paper we published this year. We downloaded some of the data sets from TGA database, and then we did different type of analysis. And when we did the lookup analysis, we found that in most of the cases, the CDK1 expression was more. And this was in age group or overall survival of those women who were having CDK1 expression more, it was poor. And it was the age group of 20 to 40, only against that of the old age of 50 or more than 50 years. So this again shows that the younger age group is now more vulnerable to this because of many factors. When we talk about the statistics, one thing is their risk factor is the genetics. If in my family or in my ancestral family, maybe that my grandparents or first degree cousins or maternal or paternal relatives, they had some cancer, then I am more vulnerable to that because this is the risk factor for that. But we see that as per this statistics from US, 85% of the breast cancer cases detected, they have no family history. This is again a worrisome problem. Fine. So then rest of the stats have been talked about. It's why we are celebrating this as a pink. Pink October is pink, and this color has been assigned to that. The breast cancer sign, we have the pink ribbon, and there is then 1 month dedicated to this disease as compared to other diseases, their spreadness. For example, if we talk about tuberculosis, there is only one day, 24th March, which we observe as a World Tuberculosis Day or World Environment Day, 5th of June, and so on and so forth. But 1 month has been given to this in order to spread the word of mammography or screening, because education, awareness, and early screening will lead us to early detections, and early detection will lead us to prevention of breast cancer and its treatment or cure at right times. Fine. As I told you, this is the scary slide because 50 to 60% of women who are diagnosed with breast cancer in India, they die within 1 year, despite treatments, because the detection is at the late stage, second stage, third stage, or fourth stage, which we need to bring it down so that it is detected in early stage 0 or 1, so that precious lives are saved. Now we need to understand a little bit about the breast physiology or biochemistry. We are having a breast, it's a soft tissue, it's made up of 4 components. We have the lobules in it, which make the milk actually. And then that milk made in the lobules travel it through ducts and it reaches to the nipple, right? Then we have this Almighty Allah had bestowed this tissue with special lymph protection. That is the lymph nodes and lymphatic vessels. We can have tumor or breast cancer in any of these 4 tissues. None of the parts is spared from that. You can have the cancer in the lobules in which the milk is made. You can have the cancer or breast cancer in these ducts which take the milk produced in lobules to the nipple, or you can have it in lymph nodes which give protection, or you can have it in the lymphatic vessels. In all of this, you can have the cancer, and we accordingly name the type of cancer in which part it has occurred. If it has occurred in the lobules, we call this as a lobular carcinoma in situ. If it occurs in the ducts, we call this as a ductal carcinoma in situ because it has not spread to other parts. Now, if it spreads to neighboring lobules or neighboring ducts, we call this as an invasive cancer, and similarly, accordingly, we call this as an invasive lobular carcinoma in situ if it has traveled to the neighboring tissues. Besides this, there can be many other small subsidiary types of cancers like inflammatory breast cancer, tubular breast cancer, colloidal breast cancer, and so on and so forth. But they are not more common. More common are the first ones. Again, the thing is there, on the basis of the presence of the receptors and absence of the receptors, we have 5 types of cancers. Because we have the hormones like progesterone, like estrogen, or human epidermal receptor, So these 3 receptors, whether they are present on that cancer cell or they are not, on that pattern, we have divided these have been divided into 5 classes. But why I am showing this? Because I am not here to give you a technical specification or a scientific talk, it is simply an awareness campaign. But why I am showing you this slide, because the type of cancer, it depends upon which is having poor prognosis or the best prognosis. If you talk about the luminal A type, which is HR, also that means her human receptor, this hormonal receptor is present over there. Which hormonal receptor is present? ER and PR, we call this as the luminal one. It is 40%, but it is having a good prognosis. That means the chances of survival after it is detected is more. Once you go down the line, you reach the triple negative breast cancer, it is 15 to 20% only, but the prognosis is worst. It is most heterogeneous, it is most aggressive, develops very quickly, and the hormonal therapy doesn't work against this cancer because it is having none of the receptors present on their surface. And in 2019, I also decided to work only on this type of cancer, triple negative breast cancer, because this is most heterogeneous, most aggressive, and most of the treatments fail against this. So we in our lab started procuring some cell lines from different institutes, and we started the research in this in 2019. And two of the students had already completed the PhD on these topics. We will come to those later on. So this is actually the triple negative breast cancer, that it doesn't have any ER receptor, that is estrogen receptor, neither progesterone receptor, neither the HER2 receptor as well. Now, in common man's language, we sometimes hear in the society that Himasal Sudramat grade second tumor, Himasal Sudramat stage second tumor, yeah, stage third tumor. What these stages all are about? When we talk about the stages, we talk about the spread. Cancer kota shufahlamut ek organ pet ya biggest organus ya ek lobule pet ek is ductus cunium biggest giant. So that stage has something to do with the spread, and grade has to do something with the morphology and overall structure in that breast. If we talk about stage one, we see that here, because this monitor is not that big, you can see from the, but I will tell you, simply explain you. If, for example, this breast cancer has developed in a particular lobule and it has remained confined to that lobule only, so we call this as a stage one. Or before that, we call also stage zero. At sometimes we make that grading as well. Then stage two is when the entire lobule and the duct has been involved. So we call this stage two. And stage three is when the tumor from these ducts and lobules had moved to the lymph nodes also, which usually provide protection to you. So we call this as a stage three. And stage four is when the breast cancer cells had moved from the breast and they had now occupied rest of the organs of the body, because we know that this is a systemic circulation. All the cells are part of the same systemic circulation. We call this as a stage four. But always these stages and grades go hand in hand. They are all moving parallel, fine? When we talk about the grades, it is about the size and it's about the morphology of the cells. If we have the morphology of the cells as same as that of the cancer cells, we call this as a grade 1. Grade 2 is when the disorganization is there and then there is morphology change. We call this as a grade 2. And grade 3 is when it is totally disorganized. Number of cells is disorganized and they have increased size as compared to the normal ones. We call this as a grade 3. And grades are also sometimes labeled by clinicians, like doctors who actually treat the patients. They label it on the size, like if it is a peanut size small lump in your breast, you call this as a grade 1. If it is that of a small lemon, you call it as a grade 2. And if it is more than that of a small orange, you call this as a grade 3. Fine? So grades and this use. And grading and staging determines your treatment regimen. If you are detected early in zero grade 1 or grade 2 or stage 0, stage 1 or stage 2, then the chances of survival are more. Why? Because you need a simple therapy. But if it is now advanced stage, stage 2 or stage 3 or stage 4, then you need combination therapies, you need a cocktail of all those drugs, and it's more expensive. That is why we are running a campaign of awareness that if it is detected in early stage, then we will be able to save the precious lives, because patients will be taking normal routine mammography or ultrasound or MRI or so on, so on. So now I will be talking about you the signs and symptoms. Who should at what time go for medical advice or medical attention or visit a doctor? I request the students at least please bear with us at least for 30 minutes more, it's all your concern. And you being the females, you should be more patient about it because it is health issue. It concerns us all. We had traveled from Kashmir University by leaving our departments there and leaving more our assignments over here. Traveled to this part because I belong to this area. Fine, and this is most of the scientists have traveled from there. We are not there sitting idle. So I request all of you to at least bear with us. This is just one day, 1 hour more here and there, and then you will be off. Fine. So this is a very important issue. It's why we are deliberating over here. The who should at least among a female look for when she should go to a medical practitioner or should get a medical attention. If you find a lump, one problem in the breast cancer is there, you don't have a pain. 80 to 90% of the things it has been observed that when the breast tumor is developing in your breast, you don't have a pain. And we as a society, we are disease cautious rather than health cautious. We will spend thousands and thousands of rupees on other functions or other things, but we will not go for a routine health checkup with a doctor. So that is a problem with us. Until and unless we don't have pain, and if it is a simple pain, we are able to bear it, we go to the pharmacy and take a drug, which is not in the West or any other countries of the world. So once there is a lump, it doesn't have a pain. If you find any of the lump or hardening, by taking simply your 3 fingers, rolling down on your organ, and if you find any lump or any hardening or any unusual change, then you should need an attention of the medical practitioner. If there is any change in the shape, any change in the contour, any change in the size, any allergy, or it may be like that of nipple change, caved in and caved out, or it may be any fluid coming out of this. Like it may be a transudate, it may be an exudate. Transudate is when sometimes the ashkhas ab bastahish. Agar you fluid to draw, then you need a medical attention. It may be exudate or it may be a pus, where blood may be also coming out. Fine. Then it can be skin change also, like there can be inflammation, there can be redness, there can be pimples, there can be some allergy on the breast. So you need to at least have a simple medication without going to any mammogram, because mammogram is not your job. Mammogram is when you are advised to do a mammogram then. But females in the US were first subjected after 50s, they were eligible for free mammography in West, because mammography is a simple technique. In US in 1985, it was when breast cancer was on the rise. It was started as a free campaign for all of the population above age 50. But now, since then, we had seen that the breast cancer is now affecting the young population. That screening age has also gone down in the West. Also, it's now 35 years against. Yes.
Sorry for interruption. Is there any correlation between these signs and the stage? At what stage cancer?
That's what we will be coming. Fine. After that, I will tell you how to determine the staging and all that. Fine. So once these, you should look for a medical attention. Go to a doctor and send. And if somebody is not convinced, they can go to the fine details. But no need for that. If any of these symptoms you find, you should go for a medical attention. Now, who should be more cautious about breast cancer? What are the risk factors? Some people, as I told you, old age and the sex. If you are female, you need to be more concerned, but I told you also males can also get affected with, although the incidence is very low, 1 in 1,000. Old age is one of the factors. Above the age of 45, where hormonal change and everything is there, you need to go for. There, if somebody is having dense breasts as otherwise, she need to also take care of that. She may be at a more risk of developing this breast cancer than the otherwise. Or having a breast cancer before. If you are having a breast cancer, then it can recur. Because even after surgery, some cell may here and there escape and it can recur again if you have not taken palliative therapy or neoadjuvant therapy or adjuvant therapies. Then it can be a parent or sibling of your family, your grandparents, your siblings, or your first degree cousins, or maternal, paternal lineage. If somebody among them has the cancer, then you need to be worried about. You need to look, even after a small change is there, you need to consult a medical doctor. Then there are risk factors certainly which we can control, increase or decrease, and there is a family history. But what are the reasons for that? N number of reasons, which we'll be discussing in some slides later. If now somebody is getting any of these symptoms, where she should go, she should attend a medical attention. In medical attention, the medical practitioner or a doctor or any clinician can go for simple examination. If she is suspicious that there is something, then they can ask you to go for a screening mammogram, which is a simply low dose X-ray radiation given to you. It's not that, because people are scary about what is mammogram. It may tomorrow create a havoc in my body. No, it's a low dose X-ray radiation, which usually you should go. It is very safe because it has been done from in 1985, and there are no adverse reports in West even. There may be here and there side effects, but you don't have any other choice as well. Then, if the doctor is still not convinced about the lump, whether that is a benign tumor or that is something, a calcium oxalate deposition or any other thing, then you can go for a diagnostic mammogram, which is a high radiation this test, and then you can also add ultrasound to that. But if now you want to get diagnosed whether it is now lump, the biochemistry of the lump, then you have to go for the MRI. Usually in MRI, the patient is injected with a dye, which you can find over there in that area, and it will tell you more advanced stagings. Fine. There are 2 Tesla, there are 3 Tesla MRIs now available in this part of the world, where earlier we used to go to Mumbai or Delhi, but these facilities are now available in the SKIMS and many private healthcare these centers. If sometimes you are now not able to still convince that whether this stage 4 is there or stage 3 is there, then you have to go for the PET scan, because positron emission tomographic scanning is there, where a radioactive probe along with the glucose concentration is injected in your body, and it tells you whether the breast cancer is localized within your breast or lump, or it has spread to any other organs, to other neighboring lymph nodes. So entire scan. I will show you image also regarding that. Or if you want to now know the grade or the stage, then you have to go for the biopsy. Simply a needle will be injected into your that lump area, and the fluid will be aspirated. Then that will go to the clinical sample and pathology and microscopy and all that. Then they will come to know. And then you can go for the immunofluorescence or flow cytometry or many other tests where you can know whether it is triple negative or double negative, luminal A, B, or what type of cancer it is. But that is ultimately, once it is established, it is first cancer. Then the second stage is that whether it is which type of this. Then, because nowadays what is happening earlier, and if you were detected with breast cancer, you go to an oncologist and then he will start directly the therapies. Nowadays the things have changed. There is a single doctor cannot decide even in a private setup that you need to go for therapy or radiation therapy or chemotherapy, immunotherapy or targeted therapy. Now there in every hospital there is a tumor board. Tumor board consists of a radiation oncologist, a medical oncologist, then there is surgical oncologist, surgeon oncology from the surgeon side, and then there are many other experts which the tumor board feels. At least there have to be 5 people and 1 representative from the person who is suffering from that breast cancer. Then and then decide this therapy is designed for that person. So now if somebody is detected, it is but obvious that sky has fallen to that person. All the dreams are shattered. We are witness in our neighborhoods, in our families, that there are people who are having big dreams, and once this word cancer struck to those families, their dreams have got shattered. They have to send their these land ornaments and to get themselves treated, because there is, even now we have the health card available with us, where the Jandan 5 lakh rupees some assistance is being given from the government. But this health card doesn't cover cancer. That's again because I must tell you, this word cancer is most politicized in the world, because big pharma companies run on this money. Plus is that they are involved, and this is also most abused in the scientific terms as well. Otherwise, you see how much of funding is there. Still, we are not able to. But there are other coherent reasons also why we have not been able to come up with a single agent against this. I will show you a slide about that also. So the person who is now detected with the breast cancer, there is mental trauma. She starts now eating poorly, cutting back on exercises, withdraw from the family. तन्हा अकेले में रहना चाह रहा है वो, क्योंकि हमेशा उसके मन में यही रहता है कि व्हाट नेक्स्ट, क्या मैं अगर ड्यूटी जा रहा था तो कितने साल की मुझे लीव मिलेगी, अब मैं नॉर्मल लाइफ फिर जी सकूंगा नहीं, अगर कोई अनमैरिड है तो उसका मेस्टेक्टोमी होगा कल, तो फिर वो शादी के लिए एक्सेप्ट करेंगे सोसाइटियां नहीं करेगी. देयर आर सो मेनी ट्रॉमास. So we need to support at that time, because emotionally and otherwise we need to support them at least. So I would conclude in just 3 or 4 minutes at the most. So these are the surgical options what is available before a patient, either local therapy you can give for surgery or radiation, or you can go for hormone therapy, chemotherapy, and that will be obviously it's not your choice. It will be decided by the tumor board and the doctors. If some patient is there who needs surgery, so in surgery what we usually do, we do the lumpectomy. Lumpectomy is that only that lump is taken out through surgical means from your body, or it is simple mastectomy that an entire breast is removed, depending upon that what is the stage in which it is detected. Then it can be modified radical mastectomy and so on and so forth. We have an example of Angelina Jolie. Keeping that aside, that she is a Hollywood actress, if we talk about the social circles or her generosity, she had adopted those downtrodden 6 kids from the African continent. Fine, and then she is doing enormously donating money for that cancer, breast cancer cause, and for others. What she realized that in her family, there were her mother, her grandmother, and many relatives in her family had died because of one or the other cancer. She realized that why they have died because of why they have died, and I don't have a privilege that I had seen them. So she decided that I don't want to take away this advantage from my children and my grandchildren, that they will not be able to see me. Fine. She decided at the age of 37 she went for double mastectomy, because after genetic testing it was found that there is positive mutation in the BRCA1 gene. So I told you in the risk factors, if there is positive mutation in the BRCA1 gene, you are likelihood of getting cancer in your lifetime. Fine. So she was advised by the doctors that she is having 87% risk of breast cancer in her lifetime, and plus on top of that 50% chance of development of ovarian cancer also. So at the age of 37 in 2013, she went for double mastectomy. Both her breasts were removed, and 2 years later in 2015, both her ovaries were removed also, because she didn't want to die of cancer. Fine, there is hope, because hope is there. As I sometimes give an example on the hope or advancements in the science. There is a lady in Texas. Her name is Linda. What she is doing, once anybody passes away, उनकी फैमिली में अगर कोई भी मरता है, तो वो उसमें खून वून एस्पायरेट, जो सारा ब्लड एस्पायरेट करते हैं, फिर उनको लिक्विड नाइट्रोजन टैंक्स में ऐसे ही रखती है. तो वो इस होप में कि 100 साल के बाद, 200 साल के बाद ऐसी साइंस में एडवांसमेंट्स होंगी, तो ताकि हम इन मुर्दों में फिर जान भर सकें. So she has hired 30 scientists across the globe and spending billions of dollars on them. But this is hope in the scientific advancements. And she believed in that genetic testing, and also got 2 of her breasts removed and 2 ovaries removed. She wrote in the New York Times, "Then I want to live differently. This is my message to the entire female population across the globe, that अगर किसी में BRCA1 mutation या उनकी families में ऐसा कुछ predisposition है towards breast cancer or other cancers, that should go for mastectomy, or that should go for lumpectomy, whatever is there." I think rest of the things you had heard from since morning. I don't want to give you any technical specifications, because we have one more speaker, 2 more speakers. I would conclude with this: there is hope. There are chances of survival. We have success stories. People are surviving even after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of detection of cancer by taking appropriate means. So my simple and humble submission to you is there. This slide is the witness to that. This is a scientific slide. It's not something what has been made from somewhere. It is after the accumulation of the data from the different papers. What they have suggested, that even if you are detected with breast cancer in stage 0, you are having 100% chance of survival. In stage 1, still 100% survival. Down the line, once it is an advanced stage, the chances of survival are maximum 20%, but as low as 2 to 3%. So this should all worry us all, that why we are doing this awareness campaign, screening campaign, or this education campaign. We are doing it only why? Because we want to spread education across the population. We want to give awareness to them, detect it in early stage, so that we can save lives. Fine. That is my final message. And besides this, I want to show what we are doing. Certain myths are there. If somebody wants to have more information, they can download this application from the Google Play Store. It will guide you what to do, when to do examination, what type of screening to do, and all that. So, and this is the I wanted to show you this. We are developing a website. From Kashmir University, I had got the domain name and all that. So we are putting all the information on one page regarding everything. So it will be available after 31st of October, once the month comes over, and you will be able to see some documentaries on it regarding breast cancer, the conferences, what has been happening across the globe, and many, many other things. We have different tabs. In this direction also, we visited many experts across the valley. There are two surgical oncology departments. One, Dr. Shamima Wani is having, and we had a detailed interaction with her. You will find those 2 2 hour videos in our web page also. Then we went to Dr. Zuhur, Sheikh Zuhur. He is the head surgical oncology at Soura. So you will also hear that almost 1.5 hour interview with him. Then we went through the different equipments. This is the equipment which is available at different medical centers across it. This image was taken on 19, just 2 days before we visited those institutes. And you are having this gamma radiation center, then instrument, you are having the MRI 3 Tesla, then you are having the PET scanning also, then you are having the cancer institute where all the expertise is available now. Everybody need not to run away from Srinagar or Kashmir. Whenever somebody is struck with the cancer, the first thing is that they book the flight to Mumbai or to Delhi. So it's not now we have all the equipment available here. The only thing is it need to be detected at right time in the early stage. Once you detect, then we are successful. Besides what research we are doing on drug repurposing. I would not go into that details. Thank you so much. Any questions, I would be more than happy to. This is our department at the University of Kashmir. If sometimes you have a chance to visit us, this is a small lab. What we do, this is animal cell and tissue culture lab where we do this breast cancer related research. And then we have the department, and these are some of what we have done. And since last 3 years, my team has published almost 5 books with Elsevier and Springer publishers with different themes on this breast cancer, be it combination therapy, be it tumor microenvironment, be it the role of cytokine networks in this, and besides 20 publications. And we have one scholar from this part of the state, my senior scholar, Umar Maharaj, who worked on this triple negative breast cancer, and he has recently submitted his PhD, and now he's going to for postdoc to Duke University, USA. So I wish him good luck also because he has contributed a lot in these studies. Thank you once again. I hope I have not bored you. Anybody has any questions, you can ask now or later on whenever you wish to. If anybody has any question, but only our hand-folded message is